Live from the Akrs Broadcast Center, it's the Nebraska Athletics AD Show with Troy Dannon.
He jab steps, he drives, he kicks. Now Hoiberg driving, kicking, right corner, Price. Put it up and down. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Times a zillion. 27-14. Price Sanford is putting on a clinic.
Ball fake on Finnegan, spins around, flips it back out top. Kennedy Williams. Shot clock at 11, game clock at 37. Kennedy will step into a three, top of the key, bigs it in! You betcha! A CVA banker for the freshman.
Now, here's your host, Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome into the Athletic Director's Show, presented by Woodhouse. I'm Kyle Crooks, and we're joined by, of course, the Athletic Director of the Huskers, Troy Dannon. Always good to have our conversations once a month. Certainly there's plenty to talk about with Husker athletics. It's been a really good stretch for Huskers athletics in general when we talk about basketball, the success of volleyball. But, Troy, let's just start first with how you're doing. It's a busy time, I know, for you, and it's good to see you.
Well, I appreciate it, and for everybody listening, happy holidays. It is a great time of year. I've been at a lot of places where December was slow. December is not slow here. With everything that's going on, we're all looking forward to going to Vegas and ringing out the year in Las Vegas with the Vegas Bowl. But other than I think we're all smarting a little bit from volleyball not continuing to play because we'd all adopted that team as a part of our family, just because of who the women are, Danny and her staff, and that transition, and to see it end when we no excuses, right? So much other stuff that all of a sudden happened, from illness to injury, and Texas A&M played great, but it is a fun time of year. Basketballs are just jaw dropping right now, both the men and the women. So a lot of excitement, as there always is here. One of the things, and people may get tired of me saying it. I hope we always sit back and appreciate. If you've been outside the state of Nebraska, you will really appreciate what we have inside the state of Nebraska. And I hope that those who've been here and maybe tend to get used to good things, never take them for granted, because what the two basketballs are doing simultaneously is rare air. Anywhere in the country over a long period of time, let alone what's happened here. So a lot of fun, a lot to appreciate, a lot to be thankful for, and a lot to look forward to.
You don't take for granted. I think the graphic, and ESPN had put it out, NBC Sports had put it out, at one point between volleyball, men's and women's basketball, I think it was up to 52-0 between the three. Yeah,
that's if you had told me when the basketball season started that streak would end in volleyball, I probably would have disagreed with you.
Yeah.
But it is pretty remarkable. And I keep wanting to come back to disappointment. All these seasons almost always end in some form of disappointment for one school, all but one school. And so the athletes are much more resilient. They get past that quicker than I do. It lingers for me. They're on to the next. Hey, let's go and figure out how to make sure we take the trophy home next year. But it's something. When you've got coaches. It was the ingredients are coaches, and you have to put them in a position to win. And between Amy and Fred, we have two coaches who, have in Fred's case, has had the grace of patience, afforded him by the university, by the fan base, to get this thing built, because there's no history to lean on. And the last 3 years, the last two, 21 seasons, and now headed in a yet unprecedented direction, and he's just done a great job. And Amy has built a monster with a recruiting class that's top 15 in the country coming in, and you got to shoot, to win, and that is a great shooting team, a lot of fun to watch. They play hard, and volleyball. I think Danny will never appreciate how good of a job Danny did this season. Following John is one thing, but with the expectations that were there, with the roster that had grown up and started playing right under one form, and Danny's a much different personality, a much different coach, and to get the team where they were and to keep them united and bonded together the way she did. We have great coaches here, but I think all three of those coaches have really showed out.
It takes a lot to win a national championship. By the way, we'll talk to Jonathan Bateman as well, Associate AD. We'll chat about NIL. It's a big segment that we'll have coming up in just a little bit. But it takes a lot to win a championship. A lot of things have to align when it comes to, you mentioned injuries, illness, all these different things. And you factor in the transition at the head coaching spot. I was there on Friday and Sunday. That atmosphere and that fourth set, specifically, 37-35. I think Nebraska was down by as many as 7. And I didn't grow up a volleyball guy. I didn't grow up around it. But that was one of the greatest sporting events, being there in person. And the environment at Nebraska, and the A&M coaches said the same thing, the culture that's been cultivated here and where Nebraska specifically has pushed the sport forward with the personalities, the stars, it's just different here. And even in a loss, Sunday proved that it's just different here.
Well, if you didn't care about the two teams, and you could not have done anything more for the sport of volleyball than what happened for that 3 hours in here on Sunday afternoon. Mm-hmm. Now, it hurts here. You don't want to say we're not trying to do something for volleyball, we're trying to do something for Nebraska, but it was a great endorsement of college women's athletics, great endorsement of volleyball. John and I had a conversation Monday. We're kind of agonizing back and forth with each other, and I just reminded him of a conversation we had when he started talking about whether he was going to retire or not. And one of his questions was, maybe he would wait one more year, and the team was there to make a championship run. And I said to him at the time, I said, you just watch Louisville made that championship run, and in the semifinals, their best player, takes her ankle out and can't play in the championship. And I said, no matter what, you can have the best coaching, you can have the best talent, you still have to have luck. And the fact that, I think all of our adverse luck, if you will, from injuries and illness all happened at once at the same time when A&M was playing a great match. But, you said, it's been so close. There's you can always point to luck, and you try to do everything you can to put luck on your side and to control the destiny. But things happened, I think, within our own program that you couldn't control. You couldn't control that Bergen and maybe mm-hmm. Virginia were sick, and you couldn't control Allie stepped on a ball and Campbell broke her. Just all those things. But yet they still almost overcame it.
They did.
And just a great match against a great team. So we're going to look back on it and probably never ever forget that match. We wish we would have been on the right side of it, but it was spectacular.
Men's basketball, you touched on it too. The finish at Illinois, 2-0 start to Big Ten play. You're off to obviously 11-0, best start in program history. You're 15th in the AP poll, 12th in the net. You've had incredible. I mean, you think of this 3-game stretch, right? You beat Creighton by 21. PBA's going crazy. You beat Wisconsin by 30. The place is just unglued. And then the way you won the Illinois game, you give up a 13-0 run going into half. It's a tie game. It's 0-0. But again, the way they were just trading blows in the second half, the DNA of this men's basketball team is unlike anything that we've seen here in quite some time.
Well, not knowing all of the history, I would guess there haven't been many 3-game stretches over 6 days like that team just went through, mm-hmm. with not much rest and not much prep time to get ready for Wisconsin and then again for Illinois. I think just watching Jared Garcia step up against Wisconsin, but really against Illinois, that's maybe what we didn't have last year when things weren't going right. We just had to play through it and hope. But there are so many players that have come forward. Cale Jacobs is just a glue guy, and mm-hmm. and Sammy's playing at an all Big Ten level right now, and so all of those things develop. It goes back to Fred's secret sauce is his ability to develop, and in the game today with all the transferring and everything else, and I think last year 50% of the basketball players at the Division I level transferred schools. It doesn't matter if they're transfers or not; they still have to develop. Jared Garcia was a transfer, but he's developed, and you saw it happen in front of your own eyes. So the ability to continue to develop talent, get better, and get old. Not many teams get old anymore, and this is a veteran team. So that helps you get through a 6-day stretch like they just achieved.
Just incredible on both sides. Again, you mentioned the women also in the AP, top 25, 23rd in the country. Their schedule will get a little bit tougher. I believe they have USC coming up after Christmas, 29th in PBA. So make sure you go out and support them as well. Doubleheader will be coming up on Sunday between the two, 11 a.m. for the women and 7 local time for the men. The AD Show is brought to you by Woodhouse. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. A lot of news around college athletics, a lot of news here with the Huskers, and we're going to dive into some NIL talk. It's very important with the ever-changing landscape here of college athletics. Jonathan Bateman, Associate AD, will join us to talk about NIL and the future of that here with Nebraska. That's next.
Hey Husker fans, get game ready at Alumni Hall, your ultimate Nebraska Cornhusker shopping experience. Upgrade your tailgate gear, shop officially licensed Nebraska clothing for the family, or load up on hats, gifts, and accessories. Spend $150 and you'll receive a $10 reward on your next purchase with Alumni Hall's Hall Pass rewards. Nebraska students, faculty, and military receive 10% off when shopping in store. Come shop at Alumni Hall, located in downtown and in the South Point Pavilion in Lincoln, or shop alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Husker fans shop. You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
Contracting your premium diesel just got energized at Central Valley Ag. With CVA's Refer a Friend program, you and a friend can each earn $100 back. Refer a friend, that friend contracts a minimum of 1,000 gallons of premium diesel, and you both get a $100 credit. Power your performance with Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster and Roadmaster XL. Details at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no peace of mind like knowing you have a dedicated team of technology experts working for your business around the clock. Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of tech company Applied Connective. It's a privilege to serve our great state for nearly 2 decades now with managed IT, cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, and audio-video solutions. Our team understands the importance of fitting you with the right technologies to help your business perform at its peak potential all day, every day. Discover more at appliedconnective.com and go Big Red.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive. From enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Back on the AD Show, presented by Woodhouse, Kyle Crooks, Troy Dan, and Jonathan Bateman, as well as we'll talk some NIL here in this segment. A lot of news around that, but Troy, I wanted you to have a chance to introduce our next guest. Very important to the athletic department, I would say.
Well, I may spend more time with him than my wife right now, but Jonathan Bateman was here working in compliance, and probably, Jonathan, 2 months in to my time here, just as NIL was evolving, approached him and asked if he wanted to be the NIL guru, if you will. And the House antitrust settlement seemed like it was getting some legs. And so Jonathan has really led all of the efforts. The sports that we have revenue share inside of, the two basketballs, volleyball, and football, each of them has a general manager, a de facto general manager, and that person works closely with Jonathan to, once we decide how the money's allocated, then he operationalizes really everything that has to do with NIL. We have over 100 athletes, which means 100 contracts, which means 100 agents. And he deals with those agents and facilitates those contracts. So it's a role that did not exist 2 years ago. There right now is a massive, and if you ask our coaches, maybe the most important role in the department.
So, and dealing with agents all day, Jonathan, that's probably not an easy thing to do nowadays.
I didn't think I'd be doing that, when I started in 2011, but, the wheels have changed, they don't stop. So now we're here, but yeah, we're good.
So 1890, they're winding down their operations, and now there's been a revised deal approved by the Board of Regents between Playfly Sports and Husker Athletics. Can you just take us through how NIL's changing here with the Huskers and how it's perhaps a good thing here for Nebraska moving forward?
Sure. Yeah. Well, first I want to thank all the folks over at 1890 that I've worked with, on a daily basis over the last couple of years, Carson and Matt and Joe and Emily and Veronica. But obviously we're all thankful for the Pede family and everything they've done, for Huskers Athletics in this time of change. Really with the implementation of the settlement, it has dictated a smaller range of operationalization for what collectives can do. And we found it was best here as a department, really to have 1890 wind down their operations because their usefulness was becoming more limited. Mm-hmm. And we really want to invest in our resources and put our focus in with our multimedia rights partner, which is Playfly, to work on NIL deals for our athletes that help us get above the cap compensation to our athletes, above the 20.5 revenue share number.
So can you just explain that above the cap phrase for fans that might not understand what that means?
Sure. So there's a revenue share cap, which is the amount that the institution can compensate athletes for their name, image, and likeness rights. So view it as the school entering into an NIL deal with its own athletes and paying them for the use of those NIL rights. To get money above the cap, the athletes can sign NIL deals with third parties, such as Playfly, our corporate sponsors, really anybody, to do an NIL deal. And that money does not count against the rev share cap number. It's above the cap. Mm-hmm. The way the House settlement is set up is we, in the institution, we can help assist, facilitate those third-party NIL deals to help get those deals to our athletes. The biggest key is we cannot pay them because then it would be cap money and count against it.
One of the things that is an important nuance to this, because when it was announced that 1890 was winding down, people kind of lost their minds. Well, aren't we doing NIL anymore? And what 1890 did was collected money from donors and distributed that money to the athletes through NIL deals that they signed with the athletes. The settlement strictly prohibits that. And so that's where it was replaced by rev share. The settlement said, okay, collectives, you can't do this anymore. However, the institution can do this. So the institution could ask the donors for money, or however you come up with the money. But it really shifted that burden to us in the rev share. So that's really the genesis of 1890's evolution. And I do want to jump in. Without Tom Peed, without Sean Peed, we just talked about unbeaten basketball teams, volleyball team that just went 33-1, a football team in its second bowl game in a row for the first time in a decade. Without those two guys, none of those things happen. Mm-hmm. And part of all of this is when you're not having the success, you want to use change as a fuse to explode and move around people that had passed by you. And they did that. They lit that fuse through 1890. It would scare me to know how much money they themselves have contributed to those efforts. So it's really important, as 1890 may not be a valid entity anymore because of the rules. And Jonathan did a good job of thanking them, but I hope we all have perspective of what their leadership and vision has put into place. Their work has been validated by those records that you just cited.
Yeah. And, Jonathan, let me ask you this for fans out there that say, hey, how could I still help? I understand it's a little bit different now. We're not giving directly to the collective. How are fans out there, if they can find a way to be of assistance to help athletes and to compensate athletes, how can fans still be of an assistance?
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways. Our corporate partners and folks who are in, they have a business. Obviously, they can work with Playfly. If they're not ready to be a corporate partner, but they want to work with our athletes, reach out to me directly. My email is on Huskers.com. I get intake for NIL deals all the time. None for me, all for the athletes. But I'm open to business if anybody else is. Yeah, and really we just connect the individual and the athletes, and everybody's different, right? Of what they want from the athlete and what the athlete wants to get out of it as well. So we're helpful, and we can connect the dots there.
And I think, and Troy, you could probably echo this too. But what NIL turned out to be is what we didn't want it to be, right? Pay for play. But now we're trying to legitimize these name, image, likeness deals, and I think this helps, does it not? Obviously, with this agreement here with Playfly Sports.
So, 2019, when all of this started, when NIL was born, the vision was that athlete A and company B would come together, and there would be a relationship, and the athlete could then benefit by their individual skill set. It quickly devolved into how can we just funnel money, and now we're right back to where this really started, was company A and athlete B, how do we get them together? And, now the rules allow us to facilitate those deals and frankly, take advantage of the financial wherewithal of the university. That, go back in the late 90s, the vision was to build the West Tower and have suites, and which really put us in a financial position that nobody else is in, even to this day. The rules never allowed us to take advantage of that financial position. Today, the rules allow us to take advantage of that. So the whole deal with Playfly, the diverting of money to our bottom line and moving it directly to the athlete, that's only possible because of the vision from 20 and 30 years ago of what we did to get into a financial position to sustain that. So now maybe we get to take advantage of our greatest and strongest bullet in our holster.
Yeah. And, Jonathan, what are some of the common questions that maybe the players have during all this? Because they're going through this. They don't maybe understand it to the level that you and Troy do. But what are the questions that they're asking you at the current moment?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions. And part of it, too, and Kyle, we were talking about right when I walked in is, it changes every day. And that's not just a phrase, it's actual truth. So I think the athletes do a pretty good job of keeping the main thing, but they're also 18 to 23 years old. And some of this is in some of their cases, it's money that is life-changing money, right? So we do our best to educate and give resources and education as it relates to, hey, you'll probably want a second set of eyes on this. If you have representation, you're going to have tax obligations that you're going to need to handle. Those are things we can educate on, but we also can't handle those from the university perspective. So we try to be a resource and a hub to let them know, hey, these are places and things you should do. But it's a time for a lot of questions.
I would assume that you're going to see a lot more interactive, pretty cool relationships, brand deals that are going to be out there moving forward. Would that be a right assumption out of this whole?
Yeah, I think so. I think one thing that we're really excited about, and we're in the early stages of the implementation piece of this all, but I'm really excited about some of the content that we think is gonna come out from our athletes and Playfly together and our sponsors. Behind the scenes things that maybe we haven't has put much of a focus on that I think could be really good for our fans to be able to get a peek behind the curtain.
And final one, at least from this, and maybe Troy, you could hop in on this. I know fans would want to say, okay, how does this make us better on the field? How does this provide more wins? And so for a fan that maybe looks at it from that perspective, how does this help the Huskers win on the field?
Well, recruitment and retention are the two keys to success. It doesn't matter how good our coaches are. If we don't have the players, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And this is recruitment and retention today. 10 years ago, recruitment and retention was, are you going to give me a job after I graduate? And how will the meals be? And how will you take care of me if I get injured? Recruitment and retention today is revenue share and NIL. And so it is a matter of, does it help you win? Well, I will tell you this, it can prevent you from winning. And so we got to be in the game.
Yeah.
And I think part of the Midwest, and I'm a Midwest boy, so I can say this, but the Midwest ethic is, this is not what we do. Ed Ogeron made a great comment a week ago. He says, we've been doing this in the South for years. We just take it in through the back door, and now we're taking it in through the front door. Well, we've never taken it in through the back door in the Midwest, right? And we're taking it in through the front door. But the last two national champions have come from the Big Ten. And I think if you look at the rev share era right now, it's been marked by, all of a sudden, the rise of the Big Ten. 3 of the top 5 seeds in the CFP are in the Big Ten this year. And so when you give us the financial, give us the wherewithal financially to compete legally with everybody else, I think it's shown that we can have great success. Now, we also have to have facilities. We also have to have coaches, and we got to have assistant coaches. Matt's made some moves, right? But we have to have all those pieces. But the core hub are the athletes. And if you want to know how does this help you win, I can tell you how it helps you lose if you don't do it. Mm-hmm. And how do we then now parlay our financial wherewithal? How do we parlay the ability we have based on the board's blessing to reallocate that money? How do we do that in the best way to get us the best talent, keep the best talent, which will help us win?
Yeah, I appreciate that answer. And Jonathan, thanks so much for coming in, because I know your head's been spinning over the last, I don't know how many years, just kind of navigating the wild, wild west and what it's turned into. And hopefully there's a little more uniformity to what we're doing now. So appreciate you coming in and sort of working through this, because my head's swimming just trying to read all this stuff. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
Associate AD Jonathan Bateman talking about some of the changes in NIL. We'll talk more about football coming up next here with Troy Dannon.
Think a bunch of IT gurus would have anything in common with a dominant college volleyball team? Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of Applied Connective, serving Nebraska businesses for nearly 20 years. We're proud to have a few things in common with our beloved Huskers, namely that we're also a group of hardworking and highly skilled individuals that make up one dynamic team. From our IT and cybersecurity all-stars to our phone, physical security, infrastructure, and audio-video pros, we're one team that can expertly manage all your technologies. Discover why it's a game changer to partner with us at appliedconnective.com. And as always, go Big Red.
If you believe the destination is the journey, you'll love exploring in the 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. It gives you the confidence of standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus a 180 horsepower Subaru Boxer engine. The 2026 Subaru Crosstrek. Love is out there. Find it in a Crosstrek. Visit Duteau Subaru, located at 2750 Jamie Lane in Lincoln, and online at duteausubaru.com. Duteau Subaru, driven by you.
From the chant of Husker power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Exarban Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
A great time to buy Ranger, Maverick,
Slated, and F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's holiday pro power onboard.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus zero down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive. From enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
The AD Show is brought to you by Woodhouse. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Kyle Crooks back with you on the AD Show. Appreciate Jonathan Bateman stopping in, talking all things NIL with us and what can be a confusing time, I know that. But also, of course, here in studio with Athletic Director Troy Dannon. All right, Troy, we sort of teased it going into the break, but football getting set to teed up one last time this year in the Las Vegas Bowl. Let's start here because I know a lot of bowl games want the Huskers. If you're there in Maryland, you're there at UCLA, it's a slam dunk. This is a fan base that travels. That's no hidden secret. What is that process like? Do they come to you, wooing you about coming to play here, or do you talk to them? How does that work?
Well, it's a little bit. Every league is different. In the SEC, the conference office slots teams. Mm-hmm. In the Big Ten, there's a pecking order that the bowls have. And the pecking order was Orlando, Tampa, Vegas, Nashville, and Phoenix in that order. And so, when Michigan and Iowa were slotted, and I think if we would have beaten Iowa the last week, we'd have gone to Tampa. And then for the same reasons from a fan base standpoint. But then if you look at Illinois, Minnesota, and Nebraska, you could argue Illinois won one more game and Minnesota beat us heads up. But the rules in the league say as long as you're within one game, and head-to-head doesn't matter, the bowls can make those choices. So then it was up to us to lobby and just, express to, what the Vegas Bowl offers. One is weather. Two is you're playing in an NFL stadium. You think we played in Arrowhead. We're now playing in this stadium. We've played in we played in the Rose Bowl this year. We played in some of the greatest stadiums in the country. But there's a lot to do for the fan base. Nothing against Nashville, nothing against Phoenix, but we put the full court press on there. We were putting the full court press on in Nashville. It's drivable for our fan base. And so it was up to the board then of each bowl to make their choice.
What does the ticket situation look like for fans? How many do we expect maybe to be in attendance? I know that can be fluid.
It's really hard to tell because, much like the bowl last year in New York City, we don't have many tickets here. I think we only have 5,200. I think we've sold 4,300, something like that. But there'll be 50,000 there. We were a little disappointed with our sale last year, and then we got to, and most of the crowd was ours in New York City. People find a way to get there. There's lots of places to buy tickets today, usually not through the home box office. So a little hard to tell, but we anticipate. I think they're anticipating one of their bigger crowds that they've ever had. Utah travels well, as in addition to what they're expecting from Nebraska. Going to be a lot of red in that building.
Yeah, and it's a good football team too. Watching a little bit of Utah today, and I want to pivot a little bit, staying with football. But you talk to Coach Rule a lot. We've mentioned on our show you two have a really good relationship. In some places, that's not the case, where the AD and the football coach are really close. But your conversations with him now, as you evaluate football, he heads into year 4. You still have a bowl game. There's been some coaching changes that you alluded to. What are those conversations in which that you could share with us that you're having with Coach Rule as you evaluate moving forward?
Well, I think part of it, at the start, we didn't end the way anybody wanted it to end, both from a total and total wins and then how we played. That said, I'm a big celebrator. We got something to celebrate. We got a little bit better than we were the year before, right? And so while there's positives, when things don't go the way you want, you either accept them or you find a way to adapt and adjust. He needed to make some changes on his coaching staff and made them. We talked through those changes. Those changes aren't the AD's to make. The AD will point things out and maybe give a perspective outside the walls, but kind of close to the program. But those are decisions for the coach. So are who he's going to hire, decisions of the coach. But we have a chance to talk through them and vet and understand what he's looking for. You hate to keep changing coaches, right? This is 3 coordinators on defense in 3 years. You want continuity and consistency. But if you don't have the right people, you don't keep the wrong people for the sake of continuity. And so getting to where he needs to be from a staff standpoint, frightfully important. The continuity in the roster, it's always going to be almost 1-year free agency. And, money's important. Culture is still more important than money. And if you don't have culture, the money doesn't matter. And if you have a lot of culture, the money doesn't matter, or at least doesn't matter as much. I feel like we're in a good place from that standpoint. But how the players, how the talent, how can we coach them? College football is not a scheme game. It's a player game, and the coaches have to scheme around the players. The NFL is a scheme game. You come in here and you do what we tell you to do. Everybody's virtually the same. Some are better than others, but it's a scheme, not here. And so I think the adjustments that he made, in getting people that maybe the old college spirit thing maybe gets a little old. I'm going to tell you it's important. Mm-hmm. Even though there's money in the game and a lot of money in the game, the kids have to want to fight. They want to have to run through a wall for the coach. They want to go over to your house and watch TV on the weekend, when they're off. They're still college students, and no matter how much money it's not going to change. It doesn't change in any sport. So we have to make sure that I think we're coaching them as we would coach college students and not pros. We had a lot of talk about that, I think, over the last half of the season. I think he's got a really good staff in place. the one thing I've been really proud of Matt is when he sees things that need to change, they change. Now there's a point at which we need to quit changing, and I think we all feel that that's narrowed down. We were weak probably up front on both sides this year. Maybe not weak from a talent, but weak from a performance standpoint. We got to get better. Coaching's part of it. Coach them up, put them in the best position to succeed. Our offensive line got a lot of blowback publicly this year. They also blocked the way for the second leading rusher in the country. Takes a good offensive line to do that. So we have quality players. We keep putting them in a good position, the best position to succeed. We're gonna see positive outcomes.
Yeah, and great stuff there. And I did want to bring up the whole one portal period and how that is timed, but we'll do that in the fourth and final segment. Also did want to touch on your time in the College Football Playoff Committee. I know that's been in the news as well. So still a lot to do. We only have one more segment left here with Troy Dannon. Stay with us.
Contracting your premium diesel just got energized at Central Valley Ag. With CVA's Refer a Friend program, you and a friend can each earn $100 back. Refer a friend, that friend contracts a minimum of 1,000 gallons of premium diesel, and you both get a $100 credit. Power your performance with Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster and Roadmaster XL. Details at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Let's get it. Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, Wildcat!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
See Shelter agents Craig Kerr, Jeff Bond, or Matt Moorhead in Lincoln today.
Here at Boot Barn, our objective is to build the perfect boot. We do take our time ensuring that every step is done correctly. For a boot to last you for a lifetime, you've got to properly build the boots. Hand craftsmanship is, in my opinion, the only way you're going to achieve that. We handcraft our boots. 160 people take a boot from start to finish. We have skilled artisans at every stage of the game. We've been handcrafting boots since the beginning here at Boot Barn, and we'll continue to do so.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no peace of mind like knowing you have a dedicated team of technology experts working for your business around the clock. Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of tech company Applied Connective. It's a privilege to serve our great state for nearly 2 decades now with managed IT, cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, and audio-video solutions. Our team understands the importance of fitting you with the right technologies to help your business perform at its peak potential all day, every day. Discover more at appliedconnective.com and go Big Red.
The AD Show is brought to you by Woodhouse. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Final segment with the Husker AD, Troy Dannon, Kyle Crooks, back with you to sort of put a bow here on our football conversation, Husker football conversation, but we're going to head into the portal period now. It's only a one portal period, which is a good thing. Timing, I don't know if is a great thing, but I wanted to ask you this, sort of get your thoughts. Financially, I know a lot of fans want to know, are the Huskers in a good spot to go out and do what they have to do and do what they have to get in the transfer portal?
We are. I would say we're in the best position that we've been throughout this. While we talked about all that 1890 did, the one thing that we haven't, we've really been grassroots. It's come from a lot of sources and a lot of people have been involved, but again, being able to now utilize the financial wherewithal within the department, being able to reallocate $8 million this year and more than that next year to get real NIL deals, to get above the cap or make our cap look larger than it otherwise is. That's important for us. And as I mentioned earlier in this show, I just want to make sure we can compete with the kids that we're recruiting against, and what other deals are coming to that. We can't afford the highest paid position in the country or highest paid player in the country at every position. Nobody can do that. But what's important? I think we did a really good job on defensive backfield, at skill positions, particularly wide receiver this year, of building up the talent level. There's other places coach has to invest, and that's really the coaches involved. But I do think from a financial standpoint, we can do what we need to do. Go back to when there was talk about Matt and Penn State's interest in Matt, and he talked about we need to be able to have a $25 or $30 million roster. And 3 weeks later, he signed the contract. Well, that's not because we didn't do anything different. And whether it's 25 or 30 or 22 or 50, right, whatever the number is, it's can we compete for any player that we think we want to get? And the commitments were made from the board level down in authorizing the reallocation to the president, to everybody in the department, of getting that commitment to him. It also gives us the ability to get more money to Fred, to get more money to Amy, to get more money to Danny as well.
Yeah, and so with that, again, you're as a fan out there, you might not win every single one of those duels against some of these other schools for the players, but Nebraska financially is in a good spot to compete. I did want to throw out there, so the portal period starts on January 2nd, and you got teams that are playing in a college football playoff and also molding their roster for the next year. The timing of it, is that something that eventually can change here?
Well, keep in mind the Big Ten coaches were unanimous, or maybe 17-1, that the portal should be in the spring. And primarily the other three leagues were not in favor of that. Coaches wanted to know what their roster was going to look like as they went into spring ball. The January portal is better than the December portal, but it's revealing itself to still have liabilities. In all honesty, there's a much bigger picture discussion here. Spring has to happen differently. Spring football hasn't changed in forever. It has to. And maybe you need to go to more of an OTA model. The calendar right now, we hear a lot of talk about the calendar. The calendar was developed when we couldn't talk to players in the summer, when maybe you had a few days or a few hours in a week to work with the players. It is a totally different world. So I think the whole calendar, not just the portal, probably doesn't fit any place given how this calendar is set right now. So let's figure out where the portal should be and then build that around it. The financial year is July 1 to June 30th. That's the cap year. Mm-hmm. Why the portal year is not in alignment with that to some degree makes absolutely no sense. And I think in just talking to some of the coaches I've talked to because of CFP responsibilities in the last month, I think a lot of them are now revealing why January is not any better, not much better than December, and that we really need to look at a later spring portal.
I think eventually we'll get to some resolution. How long that takes, who knows? But you mentioned CFP, so what in the heck was that like? I mean, there was a lot of debate online. That's, I think, our favorite thing to do as a Twitter X community is to go out there and talk about the final rankings. So how did all of that go? And you don't have to delve into those conversations because those are private, but the whole experience for you.
Well, it was fascinating. I learned a lot. Coaches watch games differently than the ADs do, who watch games differently than the former players do. So it's fascinating to get all those perspectives and how it shifted my thinking on certain teams along the way. It was intense. I'm used to multitasking every meeting. You have your phone, you have your iPad, and you're doing email during none of that. You were locked down, and it was fairly intensive for quite a little bit of time. Really good people in the room. I know this. I feel really good that we got it right. The committee got it right. There's always going to be somebody aggrieved by the process. It doesn't matter if you have 4, if you have 12, if it goes to 16, 20, 24. Somebody will always be aggrieved that they didn't make it, and that's just part of it. But I think the discussion, the thoughtfulness, I feel pretty good about where we landed. It was a much more intense experience than I thought.
Yeah. So how long do you do it next year? How does that work?
I have 2 more years
okay.
On my term. This is the first week in the last 6 that I've been in Nebraska on Sunday or Monday or Tuesday. So it was kind of getting my own schedule realigned, but it's quite a commitment. I think it was worth it. I mean, it may be a little Pollyannish to say giving back to the game, but it's an important part of college football, being on that the committee is. And some would argue they'd rather have something different. Whatever it is, the way it's structured right now, selection of the teams is really, really important, and to get to be a part of it's really a great honor.
We have a couple more minutes left, but I did want to bring up just stadium renovation updates. Where are we at with that? I know we like to talk about that once a month.
Yeah, I think last month I said I'll have something in December. What I had in December was that the board, approved, I think $42 million that will get us to final design. And at that final design, we'll have numbers. So I would anticipate going back to the board in February with a number, see where they're at on the project, and then going from there. We are starting to meet with donors, high-level stuff, just to show them what we're talking about and in concept some numbers of what it might be. And I think the why is important. And the why, Kyle, is this is a really important state building, maybe the most important building in the state, a state-owned building, and it needs to be preserved. And those who were ahead of us preserved it. They added the south end in the 60s. They did work on the east. They did work on the west. They preserved it. It's our job to preserve it for the next 2 generations so that we can remain. I mean, it's as fine a facility as there in the country, but it does need to look like a 2025 facility or 2030 or 2040 facility. So we've got to get some of that stuff done. It also needs to help fuel the financial engine. All we've talked about on the show is money. And like it or not, this is where we're at in college athletics. And so that stadium, the biggest revenue driver we have. So how do we find ways to maximize what that stadium can do? We cannot raise ticket prices. We cannot raise donation amounts. There's some of that's happening with a receipt in volleyball. Some of that will happen with a receipt here. But this can't be borne in the backs of the fans. We've got to run our business differently. And part of your business is you take your biggest revenue generating engine and use it more than 7 days a year. And to do what we're doing, we're going to get by this year. But to do what we have to make these renovations to make this stadium a 365 day a year engine that's going to fund the entire Nebraska Athletics department.
Yeah, adapt or fall behind. And I will eventually set up a meeting, just some thoughts on potential concerts down the line, but that's, we'll see.
Well, we're gonna make sure the Greg Sharp radio booth is fine-tuned with luxury leathers in there just for you.
I love it. Troy, thanks so much for coming in. I love these conversations. You kind of dive into a lot of different topics. Fans love these shows because it's an insight into what you do. And Jonathan, great stuff from him as well, just about the business of college athletics. So first of all, happy holidays and good to see you.
And happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody. And I'm getting ready to send a letter out to Husker Nation. At the end of it, I put in there, how honored I am to get to serve as the athletic director at this university and to live in this state. It's coming up on 2 years for me. It's been the time of my life. I love the place. And I love the fact that in this crazy world that we're in, we can actually set the direction, have an influence in the direction, not react and respond to what other people want to do. And so it's a great time in our history. I love the coaches we have. So appreciative of the fan base. I've seen it so many times this year. It overwhelms me every day.
Well, Troy, thanks so much. We appreciate Jonathan for hopping in as well. Sports Nightly will be coming up right after this.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
A great time to buy Ranger, Maverick.
Slated. And F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's holiday pro power on board.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
Set, hike,
When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Good evening, Husker Nation. I'm David Swotek reporting from our studio, and the Sports Ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. First, two Husker volleyball players received academic honors today. Olivia Malk and Bergen Riley have been selected to the Academic All-District team, and Riley is also an Academic All-America finalist and eligible for Academic All-America honors, with the announcement for that award occurring on January 13th. Also, Husker men's tennis saw some action in the roster today. Lubbock Christian University transfer Kelsey Gies will be joining Nebraska for the 2026 to 2027 season. The redshirt junior from Manhattan Beach, California, is a respected ranked player with ITA national rankings as number 10 in singles and number 28 in doubles. And finally, Omaha native Bud Crawford, the only male 3-division undisputed champion with an undefeated record of 42-0, announced his retirement on social media today at the age of 38. The Sports Ticker was brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Coming up next is Hour 2 of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Lawrence to throw it in. Garcia runs to it. Catching it inbounds is Hoiberg. 14 seconds, 13 seconds. Hoiberg across the division line. We got 10, 9, everybody flat along the baseline except for Sam out into the timeline. 5 seconds to go. Sam drives the ball, kicks it. It is Lawrence, puts it up. God! 2 seconds to go. Inbounds play. I'm going to pass out. The game is over. Nebraska wins it. Nebraska wins it. Nebraska wins it.
Ball fake on Finnegan. Spins around. Flips it back out top. Kennedy Williams. Shot clock at 11. Game clock at 37. Kennedy will step into a 3, top of the key, banked it in! You betcha! A CVA banker for the freshman.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
And welcome back, hour number 2 of Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody. Kyle Crooks has allowed me to step back in tonight.
Yeah.
But great stuff with Troy and Jonathan Bateman.
Yeah, interesting conversations. Of course, there's a lot going on around Nebraska athletics, especially when it comes to everything's changing in college athletics and how players are getting compensated. So that was an interesting conversation with Jonathan. Of course, a lot of stuff covered with Troy. So bowl game and sort of the postmortem on what was an incredibly successful volleyball season and that incredible program, just looking forward, and basketball, what we have coming up with basketball here over the next few months, and the exciting starts for both of those teams. So really cool conversation. Always good to talk with Troy once a month.
Yeah, we're glad we can have him on here every single month throughout the school year. I did want to quickly hit on, because coming up here, hour number 2, we're going to hear from Amy Williams. Again, we've got 2 top 25 basketball programs, which I know Troy's very proud of too. But talk to Amy Williams and where her team is at, headed into their final non-conference matchup, and then before they'll head into Big Ten conference play. And so we'll have that conversation. We're going to hear from Dana Holgerson, the offensive coordinator, met with the media today. So I want to play you a few of those highlights. But I did want to kind of chat here off the top. We've talked a lot about the transfer portal, and there's been a lot of news. And again, it doesn't officially open until January, that first week of January, but we're going to see players continue to enter the portal. And when you talk about some of these needs for Nebraska and some things that Coach Rule has said throughout the course of the last few months about feeling like Nebraska is in a good position to go compete with some of these guys for the portal, going back to the conversation about the NIL and Playfly and what our duties will be moving forward, and the folks that we work with over on the sales team. Again, I just think an innovative approach to continue to try to be at the forefront and make sure that you have the kind of resources that you need to be able to go have the conversations with the kinds of players that you need to be in the program. And when across the landscape of college athletics, when you're seeing programs continue to bring in that NIL component in-house, just allowing to make sure that you're in total control of it moving forward. I think Troy is going about this the right way and continuing to try to make sure that Nebraska is on the ahead of the forefront and being able to have these kinds of conversations that are needed to be had to bring in the caliber of talent to compete.
Yeah, you got to be on the cutting edge. And with the way that college athletics continues to evolve, you have to evolve with it. And you're seeing it more at other places, bringing the NIL in-house. So you saw the story, I don't know how many days ago it was, but 1890s winding down their operations, the collective for Nebraska Athletics. So it provides maybe more of a unified front in that. And Coach Rule talked a little bit about what the impact of that is going to be in terms of how that helps football financially, especially in the transfer portal. You have to just continue to be on the cutting edge there. I think also with the invent of NIL Go, which is a process in which it legitimizes NIL deals and what has essentially been the Wild Wild West since like 2021, where it's turned into this pay-for-play operation everywhere around the country. NIL Go, at least it's a start to legitimize that these NIL deals, one, are market value, and two, are actually legitimate, where it's a legitimate partnership where an athlete is helping a company. It's not just a company handing money to a collective who hands money to a player. So there's a lot of good things that come out of this. I know there's a lot of hardworking people on our side on Playfly that have helped sort of this idea and this transition. It was approved a couple days ago. It might have been last week by the Board of Regents to move forward with this specific plan with Playfly Sports and bringing it in-house with a multimedia rights holder, and a lot of good things ahead and a lot of really cool, I think, innovative NIL partnerships ahead because of it.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. And again, we'll keep you posted on some of those things, how they continue to unfold, what our part will be in that, and some of the things that we might do differently moving forward. But no major changes. But again, it was a big kind of news item in the previous hour, and so we'll continue to pass along what we know and when we know it. So, all right. So again, football availability today, leading up to the Las Vegas Bowl. Got a couple of more availabilities this week, and then it will be off next week. We won't hear from coaches or players next week, and then we'll be at the bowl, and we'll be hearing conversations there in Vegas and coverage leading up to kickoff in the Las Vegas Bowl. But did want to play you a few of the highlights from Coach Holgorsen today as he met with the media. And first we're going to play for you is what he would look for in a quarterback in the transfer portal.
Well, that's a tough question. You get the best available. I mean, is it a pocket guy? Is it a dual threat guy? Is it a more of a runner? You look at the overall body of work, and it's just so different now where we're actively like watching quarterbacks and have been watching quarterbacks to try to make those decisions. We got a whole personnel department that's been doing it, and it's every position, and those guys have been doing that for months. And so then it's just about looking and seeing what's available, and my job's to evaluate it. My main job is to coach TJ and the rest of the offense to get us ready to go play in a bowl game. That's number one on my list, And so then, after the game's over, we'll come back and that portal will open up on the 2nd, and it's going to get kind of crazy for a couple weeks,
You think of it, yeah. So the game's on December 31st, right? Portal opens on January 2nd. And you're already doing your evaluation, so you have a short list of guys of who you're going to want to officially bring in, right? You could probably back-channel certain conversations. You're not breaking any news there, but you can't officially have contact with the player, have somebody on campus until that January window. So I think they have a good idea, but the evaluation process is ongoing during these bowl practices of what they believe TJ Lateef is and can be. I was thinking about this today. Do you want to go into another season as your starting quarterback as a true sophomore? And it's hard to win with a younger quarterback. Do you want to try and do that again? I think TJ Lateef has the skill set to be a winner here at Nebraska. I truly believe that. Mm-hmm. But do you want to go into a season where a guy has limited experience heading into it? Now, Dylan had a full season, but he was still a true sophomore in comparison to a Mark Gronowski and some of these other guys around the league. Do you want to go into another season with a young quarterback? That's what they have to figure out. Now, if TJ is your guy, I think you're bringing in a quarterback regardless. Is it a true 1 alpha or is it a 1A to TJ Lateef's 1? That's what they have to answer.
Bottom line, you got to get a backup, right? I mean, we needed it we've needed it almost every year since I've been here. I mean, so I think every year that I've been here, the quarterback has gone down, and you've had to call on a backup in some kind of situation. So you got to find someone that can come in and not just compete and push TJ, but also in a kind of situation where if you have to call on him, that you can still win football games with that guy as well. I thought it was also interesting too how he hit on when he was asked what kind of quarterback, and I think this is a little bit of the misconception with Dana Holgorsen, and when people want to talk about his style of offense. Again, coming from someone that was with a team that played against Dana Holgorsen for several years at multiple schools, and he's done it with different quarterbacks. So I thought it was when he said, go get the best available, if that's whatever quarterback that might be, and then you build the offense around that. I think that is what people maybe lose sight of, is that it's not like you get a quarterback to fit Dana Holgorsen's system. Dana is the kind of offensive coordinator that is able to build the best. If you get the pieces around him, you tailor that offense to what your quarterback is good at. So you get the best quarterback, and then you do what's best for him. And I think that's where people will say, "Oh, he needs to have a great arm for Dana." I think he hit the nail on the head, and then he can figure out the rest around what works best around him.
I think the question is what maximizes the potential of his system.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a pro-style quarterback? Is it somebody who has a little bit more maneuverability? What is that? Dana can answer this better than I can, better than you can, better than anybody in the media can. What does that quarterback look like for him in 2026 with the personnel you're going to have here at Nebraska? Forget about West Virginia, forget about Houston, Oklahoma State, some of his prior stops. With the personnel you're going to bring in, which they're going to be active in the transfer portal, who is the best guy that is going to maximize the ceiling to what they do?
And I think that was kind of more what I was saying, is that he's done it with different quarterbacks everywhere he's been. It's not like it's this cookie cutter quarterback. And so it's what works best for what he can do here moving forward. I think that is the kind of the key point there. All right, up next, he of course was asked about Dylan Raiola and what it was like working with him and his development.
I mean, he's a great player, man. I think there's times where I thought we were really headed in the right direction. There's times where we weren't. I mean, that falls on me, not just from his perspective, from the whole offense's perspective. Just think we're close, man. You look at that USC game, I believe if that wouldn't have happened, things were different. And I think we win that game, and I think that gives us momentum, and who knows how the end of the season ends, and who knows where we're at right now. But all I do is think about where we're at right now and what we got to do to get better.
Fascinating. The butterfly effect of one play, that hip drop tackle on Raiola against USC. You're going in. I think you were in plus territory. You had a lead at that point in time in the third quarter. He gets hurt. Latif comes in. It's really hard to move the ball. Things that just the vibe of the stadium, whether it was in the broadcast booth, we went over that, or in Memorial Stadium and the fans, it was just different. If he doesn't get hurt, you heard Dana say it, probably win that game. What does Penn State look like moving forward? What does the game against Iowa look like? Is it a more confident team after beating a ranked team, too, ending that whole deal?
Yeah.
You finally beat a ranked team, and you get a big home victory, and you're trending towards a 9-win season with a win there. It changed so much. But here we are now in a completely different conversation just because of one play.
All right, well, how about the new offensive line coach? Coach Holgorsen was asked about Jeep Wade and why that's a good fit.
Just familiarity with, I didn't know him, and so, I looked at his body of work at Georgia Tech, which was impressive, but now Coach Rule has a history with him, Sat has a history with him, and so he was comfortable coming in. I've competed against him back, when he was at Marshall, and I just think he's a really good teacher, and his body of work from Georgia Tech was impressive to me, and then having Coach Rule and Sat sign off on him as a teacher, as an individual, as a human, as far as the fit, I trust what those guys say as far as what the fit's going to be, and I think it's been, we've had a great week and a half, and I think we're going to work together very good.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a collaboration with how what Jeep does well and how it fits what Dana does. Blocking schemes, all of those things, teaching certain techniques. How does it fit in, and how does it adapt to Dana Holgorsen's system? Jeep Wade probably isn't going to come in here and do exactly all of the same things he did at Georgia Tech. He has to come in here and adjust his coaching style to how it's going to fit what Dana Holgorsen does, Coach Rule does, and what's going to fit this Nebraska offense.
All right, we've talked a little bit about TJ Lateef. Coach Holgorsen was asked about TJ and his progress.
Just his calmness and his eagerness to take it over. Okay, so it just goes back to his mentality when we went to UCLA. I'll go back before that. His mindset when he got thrusted into that USC game, which was huge, and he didn't flinch. And so now, I just think there's going to be a confidence level to go with his calmness and it's killing him that he's not practicing right now because he wants the reps. Okay, so he just loves the game, and he's really fired up about this opportunity to go into this game knowing that a lot's riding on him being the starting quarterback.
16th best scoring defense in the country. Doesn't get much easier. You think of this stretch after UCLA, Penn State, Iowa, and Utah. 3 really good defensive teams with NFL players on that side. It is a key time to evaluate what TJ Lateef can do with a little bit more time to sit back, watch film, get his feet underneath him. And this bowl, I think maybe to fans it doesn't mean as much, but for these players, for TJ, it means a lot.
And for these younger players, this is just such a massive time. I know it's like beating a dead horse, but it's like it's been missed out on this program. And so now you've got back-to-back years, and we saw the growth during this time. It's just an absolutely massive time. And for Jeep Wade, who we're going to hear from tomorrow night, he just, for the offensive line, and Coach Holgorsen talked about this a lot last year, just how much growth some of those young guys made during this time. And so it stinks that TJ's not getting as much reps, but he'll get his time. The worst thing you can do is not be patient with it, and I think probably the coaching staff understands that better than TJ because TJ wants to be out there. But let him get healthy and then really attack this time because this is a really important developmental time. And as you pointed out earlier, evaluation time to see if this is what you want to do moving forward.
And remember, since last year, they didn't have this opportunity for bowl practices since 2016.
Right. And
so it's been a long time.
Hurt. Yeah.
Now you have back-to-back. It's not all doom and gloom. You've had back-to-back years where you've had the opportunity to play in a bowl game.
And it's such a young team that this time is just instrumental. It is monumental for a young team to have this kind of time. And so a lot of those young players, we've heard the coaches talk about it, getting a lot of reps during this time. It is so important to a football program and the future moving forward. All right, we got to get to a break. Coming up next, going to talk some Husker women's basketball with the undefeated head coach, Amy Williams. So fun conversation ahead. The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive. From enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
It's the end of the year at Woodhouse Ford, and that means it's the perfect time to unwrap incredible savings across the entire Ford lineup. Whether you're searching for a tough, ready-for-anything truck or an SUV built to take your family into the new year with confidence, Woodhouse Ford has the right fit for every lifestyle. Browse our full selection, explore year-end specials, and start your next chapter behind the wheel of a new Ford. Visit us online or stop by one of our 3 convenient Woodhouse Ford locations today.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
And now, introducing the starting lineup of your Nebraska Huskers. Starring Allo Fiber. At number 1, Allo Internet. At number 2, no satellite dish required. Direct TV through Allo. And at number 3, Allo Mobile. Allo Fiber, the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of Husker Nation. Level up your game and go to allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Contracting your premium diesel just got energized at Central Valley Ag. With CVA's Refer a Friend program, you and a friend can each earn $100 back. Refer a friend, that friend contracts a minimum of 1,000 gallons of premium diesel, and you both get a $100 credit. Power your performance with Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster and Roadmaster XL. Details at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, where people don't have your money has people. Welcome back to Sports
The Nebraska
Nightly.
women's basketball
Delighted to be joined by the head coach of Nebraska women's basketball. Again, keeping it rolling, 11-0. Amy Williams here with us on your regular sit-downs. I guess now, once we get through this next couple weeks, it'll be like weekly. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I know that will be in rhythm. You know how we coaches like routine. So that'll be really fun. Looking forward to it. And just one more non-conference game and finals week here, and then here we come, Big Ten Conference.
It's already gone by so fast, I feel like. But before we talk about your team, I know you're a big fan of the Nebraska volleyball team, and just a heartbreaker on Sunday. And it's just such a close-knit group, this coaching, just all of the coaches here at Nebraska. And I've been a couple places, but it's just really special here. Yeah. How hard is that? I mean, for fans, you're disappointed because you want to see your teams compete for it. I've been a couple places, but it's just really special here. Yeah. How hard is that? I mean, for fans, you're disappointed because you want to see your teams compete for a national championship. I think for us, we get to know them, you feel bad, but it's just a different probably hurt for you because you understand the level of hurt that they're kind of going through.
100%. And just the emotion. I had tears streaming down my face yesterday, and just, heart-wrenching for just knowing what an incredibly special season it's been. And mostly just because, not because of, oh man, it's just disappointing, but because they still just have so much to be proud of. But I think it's just because that team was so incredibly fun to watch, and just for it to be over in general, whether that was this week or next week, that was going to be hard to just come to grips with the fact. And, but man, just an incredible display of competitive desire yesterday, and the way that they fought and clawed and scratched, and just something that we've come to really get used to out of that group of young women, and just what a treat it has been for our team and players and our coaching staff to be able to watch them compete with joy for an entire season, and just the way they've really come together. It's just an incredibly special team, and I just could not be more proud of everything they did this season.
Oh, great stuff. Well, another one on Sunday. What were your big takeaways in the win over Illinois State?
Well, I thought we got off to a great start, and particularly defensively. And that was something that we kind of harped on after our previous game. We did not get off to such a great start in the Omaha game, and I had to call kind of an early timeout in that one. And so for us to jump out in that game, to be locked in, I thought, Jess Keller did an outstanding job on the scouting report for Illinois State, and having our team prepared for that game, and our kids were really locked into personnel, locked into our defensive scheme, and we held them to just 2 points in that first quarter, and I thought that was something I was really proud of.
Yeah, so when you get off to a start like that, is that, and we've talked a lot about this, but was it more credit to the defense and the kind of intensity and urgency, I guess, on the defensive end that allowed for that kind of start?
Yeah, I thought that it was. I thought it was just great focus on the things that we wanted to try to take away in their tendencies, and then also just, carrying out kind of, okay, we know this action, these screens, we want to guard like this, and our kids just having a sense of urgency to kind of make those things happen, and I thought that paid off in a really good defensive effort there.
You were in your postgame with Coatney. You were very complimentary of Haley Weaver, and you have been this whole year. What is it about her that makes her so tough as a defender when she's matching up against some of these really good guards?
Yeah, well, I think she has great instincts, and she also has great length and speed and athleticism. So it allows her to take some chances, but she also can close space so quickly when she maybe makes a mistake on defense. She can make up for mistakes. She can cover things up quickly. And the best thing I saw out of Haley yesterday was just the way that she rebounded. We've been really challenging her to help contribute on the boards, and she had 4 offensive rebounds yesterday, and just, I thought, really took that to heart, and found ways to impact the game even outside of just scoring the basketball.
You guys were talking about Petra Bozon, and with this team, it's just really remarkable how many different players it can be their night. I mean, obviously, it runs through Britt, and she's been spectacular at spreading the ball around. But when you talk about your assistant coaches going into these scouts, is there something we can, you guys, okay, this is a game for Maya Hargrove. This is a game for Petra. This is a game that maybe Logan Nisley could have a night, or Callan. Is it something where you can identify who you can really target, or is it something that unfolds throughout a game?
Honestly, it hasn't really been like, oh, okay, this is, a game for Amaya Hargrove, or, even it can be quarter to quarter. In the same game, I thought, Petra did not have the start that she wanted yesterday, and then bounced back and came back and went through stretches. There's been multiple games this year where it was like, oh man, that was Logan Nisley's quarter. She went for 11 points in that single quarter alone. Or, that time Eliza really stepped up and came in and gave us a spark with 7 straight points. Or Amaya has had multiple quarters and games where she's been kind of that big spark for us off the bench. And I think just it could be quarter to quarter, game to game. I mean, obviously each game presents, we felt like, okay, this is a game where it's really imperative that we have a relentless pursuit of green box touches, we call them, like low post touches. And I thought Petra took that to heart. I thought Jess Petrie took that to heart. I thought Amaya really worked hard. Eliza, everybody that got a chance really looked. I thought Emily Fisher, when she got into the game, made a couple of really nice post feeds, knowing that that's where we wanted to really set the tone and initiate our offense. And so I just thought they really all kind of bought into it.
Going back to the Omaha win, and I know it was a little bit of a shakier start, and some of that was they were doing some funky things on defense. Is that good to kind of see that? Because you never know when people might try to take Britt out of it again. Was that a good experience for this team to kind of experience a more of a uncharacteristic, I guess, defense than what you've seen night in and night out?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. 100%. We feel like every single game we've played so far in the 11 games we've had have taught us something that we need to get a little bit better at, or have given a different, unique challenge that has been presented that will help prepare us for Big Ten play. And so absolutely, we felt like that was a really good test and challenge in that realm, and gave us some experience looking at that, and some things that we loved that we saw. Britt finding ways to have 5 steals, 5 assists, no turnovers in a game like that, huge. But also some different ways that we'd like to continue to be able to keep her involved offensively, even when people are trying like that to take her out.
Callan Hake, boy, she had the hot hand that night, especially when they were trying to take Britt out of it. After the game, I interviewed Logan Nisley, and I said, what's more impressive about Callan, her defense or her offense when she's shooting like that? And she goes, actually, I'll say her consistency. I thought that was a fantastic answer, because it seems like that's what Callan has been for you for 3 years now, is just consistent.
I couldn't agree more. And I'm so glad that Logan was able to give that answer. I think it shows what an outstanding pulse that Logan has on this team, and kind of understanding and appreciating that consistency, because sometimes that characteristic trait is so valued by coaches, but maybe goes like overlooked, or you could kind of take people for granted when they are so consistent, and they can, you're getting from them the same thing all the time. You kind of start to, take that for granted. But for Logan to be able to recognize that consistency that Callan brings in just her energy, her mood, the joy that she plays with, the leadership that she displays, but also the defensive intensity, her willingness to take charges, it never goes away. I mean, It just never goes away. It doesn't matter if it's in practice against our scout team. She'll take over and take one for the team and take a hit and do, whatever needs to happen for us to have the success as a team. And it's consistent, and it's so important.
Oh, that's incredible. Well, I was also chatting with Logan. The bench mob has just been, they're in postseason form already.
Yeah.
They, when my first year I got here, the bench mob was just, they took the nation by storm. And I feel like it's back to that. And they credited Natalie and Allison for making sure. But it's a big part, right? And I think that's cool that 2 players that are not able to contribute on the court are trying to find other ways to contribute.
It's been massive. It's been massive. It's a huge part of this team and our culture, and just the way that we celebrate each other's successes, and to have 2 individuals that are refusing to be kind of in, selfish, like pout mode about what's not going right for me, but instead, how can I pour into others, and the way that they're coordinating everything, and having a game plan and choreographing, each 3-point make and what's coming next for the, and everybody just gets into it and throws themselves into it. And it's, it could be, 1 or 2 kids that would have a, oh, I'm too cool for school to do this. But no, everybody just throws themselves in. It makes it more fun. It continues to bring the joy. And it's just, it's something that we watch film of.
You watch film?
We definitely are watching film of bench celebrations, and the best ones. And sometimes I kind of have to look out over there on the sideline, because I never know, like, I might get in the way of, of one of their celebrations. But
stay in your box.
Yeah.
Not because the refs tell you to, but because you're going to step on the toes of the bench mob.
That's right.
Amy.
That's right.
Their game planning and scouting are as impressive as Jess Keller's from last week. They have people bought in when they're coming off the bench. They're coming over there like, hey, up next is a stanky leg, or whatever it might be. And everybody knows what it is.
That's right.
They're like in sync.
They're coordinated. They are, well prepared, and they've practiced, and it's been a fun element to things. Now we actually have to make some shots in order to do those things, but it's, I think, Jazz Shelley was here a few years back, and when things kind of got started with bench mob, like she said, it's just, it makes me want to, when I see my team celebrating me like that over there, like it just makes me want to do it again and do more. And it just continues to motivate the players that are on the floor at that moment. And it's just, it's been a really big part of our team and the joy they play with.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so got a week now, and it's finals week. What does this week look like for the team? What are you trying to accomplish here over these next few days?
Yeah, well, hopefully today, first day of finals,
acing all the finals,
acing all their tests, and really just working to put that exclamation point on a tremendous semester. Our kids work really, really hard in the classroom. I'm very proud of the type of students they are, not just basketball players. But so today is a day off, and hopefully just a day that they can get a lot of study in, meeting with tutors, getting their first day of finals, getting off to a great start this week. We will have practice tomorrow, and as a head coach, this is just like the perfect time for me, the perfect week, because we have a few days here where I've just kind of been compiling a little list of things that we want to make sure that we polish up and that we have a chance to, maybe put in a few new things, look at a couple different situations that have arisen and that will arise so that we can practice those things, work on us, and not just prepping for the next opponent, but really taking time to kind of find out what we can do to get better at us. And so just a valuable few days of practice that will not necessarily be prepping for our next opponent, but getting better at us. And so I told the girls just, a couple hour study break on those days when we have practice on Tuesday, Wednesday this week, and then we'll give them one more day off to finish finals week strong before we start prepping for our Sunday game against Cal Baptist.
Every time I talk to student athletes during this time, it's like their favorite time, especially basketball players, because all it is basketball. Once they get through finals, of course. So like next week, it's you get like 3-4 weeks where it is just playing basketball and spending time with each other, and they always seem to really love this time.
Yeah, it was as a player myself, it was my absolute favorite time. I used to tell myself, like, I was never going to be a professional athlete. But I was like, this is as close as it gets to being a pro athlete. Like, you wake up in the day and you don't have to worry about this homework assignment or this reading that you should be doing or studying for this exam, or, the only thing you're thinking about is like training and taking care of your body and just, becoming the best basketball player you can be, and game preparation and film study. And I'm like, this is what pros do. And, so it is a little taste for a few weeks here of just kind of a break from the routine and just an opportunity to kind of focus on getting better.
Crazy, just one more non-con, and then it is full speed ahead into Big Ten play. What does this team need to accomplish in the final non-conference matchup before it is going to be a grind, night in and night out?
Right, yeah, we know what's coming, and that's what the point of this Cal Baptist game is, and the point of the previous 11 games is to help prepare us for all those situations. And I think the things that we've learned, we know that when we take care of rebounding, when we have disciplined rebounding efforts for the entire 40-minute games or as close to that as possible, that we put ourselves in position to have success. And that's something that we want to keep getting better at. We think we need to kind of polish up just a little bit, as we've given up just a few too many offensive rebounds over our last couple of ball games. But we're going to have to really be sharp in that area in Big Ten play.
Well, Coach, last thing I got, how cool is it to see Nebraska basketball taking the nation by storm? Men's, women's basketball, the starts you guys have had, both in the top 25. Coach Hoiberg's team knocks off Illinois on the road on Saturday. It's been cool for me to see just so many people, not just Husker Nation, but across the country, people taking notice of Nebraska basketball.
Yeah, I love it. It's incredible. We say all the time that, we're firm believers that the rising tide raises all ships. And so, the better that they're doing, the better the standard for, Husker athletics, the better for all of us. And so for sure, Illinois game was incredible. I mean, that road win, the resiliency that I thought they showed, just even to fight back, after having that huge lead in the first half and then them coming back to tie it, but just the last play of the game. I mean, just the resiliency throughout that entire game to get that road win. And we certainly didn't want to let anything down after watching them go on the road and do that. And it's been really, really fun to watch. And we're glad that people are taking notice.
Well, great stuff. Congratulations on a great start. Let's keep it rolling. Coming up on Sunday against Cal Baptist, and then it's full speed ahead into Big Ten Conference play. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Head coach Amy Williams here with us on Sports Nightly as a part of our Nebraska women's basketball, which is sponsored again in part by Union Bank and Trust. And contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. And again, 11 a.m. on Sunday, December 21st against Cal Baptist, the final non-conference matchup. A chance to see this Nebraska women's basketball team in action. If you want to be a part of it, Huskers.com/tickets. It's a fun team to watch, so be there inside PBA. Going to step aside for a break. More of the show coming up after this.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
Great time to buy Ranger, Maverick.
Slate it. And F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's Holiday Pro Power onboard.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus zero down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive. From enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. With Allo plus DirecTV plus Allo Mobile, you get the ultimate teamwork. Internet you can count on, TV you can stream anytime, anywhere, and nationwide coverage you can depend on. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers.
Shop Woodhouse Hyundai during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Receive 0.99% APR for 60 months or 2.99% APR for 72 months on the full lineup of 2026 Hyundai Palisades. Plus, rest easy with Hyundai Owner's Assurance, America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Visit us online at woodhousehyundai.com or woodhouseplacehyundai.com with approved credit, tax, title, license extra, 10% down or trade equity. First payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Must finance through Hyundai Motor Finance. Stock number H260036. Offer expires January 2nd, 2026. See dealer for details.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. I know we say it all the time, but just so fortunate to have the kind of head coaches here that we get to deal with. I look forward to having those conversations with Amy, with Fred. You can go down the list. They're just, we are it's not like that everywhere.
Yeah, it's an incredibly supportive group of each other. You know, we had the chance to talk with Rob Orich. He saw this area for the first time, and Amy was walking around too, and they got to meet each other for the first time. I believe they'd kind of known each other from other stops, but I think it's a special group of special people, and it shows in the product on the floor, especially with these basketball teams right now. Fred seems like he has his best team he's ever had since he's been here, the culture and everything. And then I had a chance to sit behind the bench a couple of games ago for the women. I was there to support the women's basketball team and just see how Amy runs the bench and how fiery and competitive she is. It's a special group.
She is one of those nicest could be on it and then off it and then on the court. Yeah, she is as fiery and competitive as they come. So get on out there. Final non-conference game coming up on Sunday for Nebraska women's basketball against Cal Baptist. Actually, doubleheader inside Pinnacle Bank Arena.
11 a.m. and 7 p.m.
Spend all day out at PBA on Sunday. It should be a fun one. All right, so we've talked so much about the transfer portal with football. How about the transfer portal with volleyball? And my timeline is flooded with players, some big-time players that are in the transfer portal for volleyball now that those seasons for a lot of these teams are complete and, just 4 teams left. And again, still salt in the wound there talking about that it's not Nebraska in those Final Four, but you're seeing an influx of players with volleyball as well, including Whitney Lonstein, who is a Waverly native, started her career here at Nebraska, went to Texas. Now she's going to finish her career out elsewhere, but a lot of big names in the transfer portal. And while Nebraska has a lot coming back and don't have a lot of places, as we've seen with Danny Busman Kelly and the way she wants to build her roster, wants to carry a large roster. And we talked to Jalen Reyes about this right after signing day. While they will certainly bring in still the nation's top talent, they want to build it around that and bring them up through the program. They're going to supplement with the portal as well. And so we'll see. I think that's also going to be interesting to see what maybe players Nebraska volleyball targets in the portal here over the next month.
Yeah, those conversations aren't exclusive to football, right? There's money conversations and NIL conversations that are taking place. Volleyball is at a different level right now. And I think Nebraska specifically has helped move it along into more of a national consciousness. I mean, these are legit celebrities that play here at Nebraska. But you see how deep that Danny wants to use her bench and how using a player like an Allie Check who comes over. So, they want to recruit, and high school recruiting is huge, and they'll get the best of the best. But you want to supplement the right pieces out of the portal that maybe can take you to the next level. And of course, you're losing Rebecca Alex, so that's a piece that you're going to have to replace.
Which I do think they feel pretty confident about that with the 2 middles that they have on the bench, and Manaya Obeche, who played some huge moments.
She was awesome.
She was not afraid. She had no fear out of Manaya Obeche, the way she stepped in when Andy Jackson wasn't playing well. Oh, by the way, Andy Jackson will be back. But we've talked about this lots with, in the volleyball hour, on the dig, and here on this show. Kenna Cogill is someone that they have had a hard time keeping that red shirt on. And so she also expected to come back and will probably be a huge part in that middle rotation as well. So I feel like they're going to be able to reload there. So it'll be interesting. You lose Taylor Landfair, so that'll be a big piece that you'll need to fill. But yeah, the way that Nebraska volleyball is, they're going to be able to be in those conversations with some of the best of the best. It's just about finding the fit with everything that you've got coming back.
I think what's exciting is what they do have coming back, and the expectations here are not going to change. The thought is that this is very much a national championship contender. Now you're going to have a little bit of a bigger chip on your shoulder heading into next year, considering what happens. So I think there's going to be even a different hunger and for fans' anticipation to the start of next year.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. All right, got to get to a break. We're back to wrap up the show next.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
Great time to buy Ranger, Maverick.
Slate It, and F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's Holiday Pro Power onboard.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus zero down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
Think a bunch of IT gurus would have anything in common with a dominant college volleyball team? Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of Applied Connective, serving Nebraska businesses for nearly 20 years. We're proud to have a few things in common with our beloved Huskers, namely that we're also a group of hardworking and highly skilled individuals that make up one dynamic team. From our IT and cybersecurity all-stars to our phone, physical security, infrastructure, and audio-video pros, we're one team that can expertly manage all your technologies. Discover why it's a game changer to partner with us at AppliedConnective.com. And as always, go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Shop Woodhouse Mazda during the Mazda More to Move You sales event. Receive 0.9% APR for 72 months, plus no payments for 90 days on all remaining in-stock 2025 Mazda CX-50s. Visit us in Bellevue or Omaha off 144th and Giles Road today. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra. When financed through Mazda Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing. Stock number MM250911. Offer expires January 2nd, 2026. See dealer for details.
Contracting your premium diesel just got energized at Central Valley Ag. With CVA's Refer a Friend program, you and a friend can each earn $100 back. Refer a friend, that friend contracts a minimum of 1,000 gallons of premium diesel, and you both get a $100 credit. Power your performance with Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster and Roadmaster XL. Details at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Welcome back. Just got about 90 seconds left here tonight. What a fun 2 hours. Lots of stuff we packed in here tonight, but gonna get doesn't go down from here because we've still got some big things ahead here this week here on Sports Nightly starting tomorrow night. You're going to have the head coach back in studio.
Coach Rule is going to be here, so we'll chat, get ready for the Vegas Bowl, ask him how practices are going, and just get his thoughts on everything going on with Husker football.
Also, really, really excited. We're going to be able to bring you an exclusive conversation. Kyle had a chance to chat with Jeep Wade here in studio, so we're going to bring you that conversation here tomorrow night on the show. So his very first interview as Nebraska's offensive line coach. I had a chance to chat with him for a social media deal, but I think Husker fans are going to be excited with the message that he brings. Obviously, it's got to translate to the field, but I think when you talk to him, I think a lot of fans are going to be fired up hearing his messaging. Relationship builder, really good coach. The way he coaches isn't necessarily by yelling at guys, and you could do it different ways, but he has a proven track record, and he brings it here to Nebraska. He knows the history of the pipeline here at Nebraska and offensive linemen, so he understands the expectations. Yeah, grew up a fan watching from afar of Nebraska during the 90s, and is also very, very, very big fan, and says Coach Matt Rule, one of his mentors in this game. So we'll bring you that conversation here coming up tomorrow night. All right, thanks to Josh Okelman for making this all happen, and have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow night, full 2 hours of Sports Nightly.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Set. Hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker